Viewers on YouTube here to another Silicon Wolverine reloading video. This one today is about shotgun crimps. We're going to call it the good, the bad, and the ugly to make a nice movie reference. I've had a lot of questions lately about what's a good, what's a bad, what's an unusable shotgun crimp. Well, in reality there is no unusable shotgun crimp. They'll all shoot eventually. This one here, and I've got my camera set on autofocus for you guys so we can try to get as much detail as possible. This here is about as close as you can get to a factory perfect crimp. You'll note the nice clean edge along the outside, even petal fold all the way along, and a real small hole in the center. This is what you are striving for all the way along. You're not always going to get it. It has a lot to do with hull quality initially, damage to the hulls in any fashion, etc. There's lots of factors involved in it. Next up, this hull has a good but not perfect crimp. You can see the shoulder along the edge of the crimp isn't perfectly defined. The center bulges out slightly. The petals aren't quite even. This is a perfectly shootable shell. Excuse me. You might have some minor feeding issues with it, because if you look close at the edge of the shell, because it's not formed completely, there's a slight bulge. In tight trap guns, this would probably be a problem. In my 870s, in my partner pumps, this has never been an issue. These shells feed just fine. Next up, this is what we call the pooch. Now this may come out looking like the last shell we looked at to start with, but given anywhere from 5 minutes to a day, the mouth of the shell will pooch open. This is usually caused by a shot column inside that is too tall, or improperly packed buckshot, too much wad, etc. It's shootable. It is gonna give you feeding problems. I have a tub full of these I keep for blasting ammo. You know, the good stuff goes in the storage containers. This is the stuff I use for plinking, you know, single shot, range training, that kind of thing. It's perfectly shootable, but it is going to give you feeding issues sooner or later. Now, this is the only crimp issue that I consider an unshootable shell. See the dents along the side of the case? This will happen from time to time if your shot column is too tall for the hull you're using. And usually what happens is you get hulls mixed in that have a different kind of interior base wad. The shot column will be too high and the crimp will only partially seat, and as you continue to pull the handle down, it will crush the side of the shell, and you can actually see, I'll get in close here, you can actually see where it's wrinkled, the side of the case. These are rejects. I consider them unsafe to shoot. You don't know what it's done to the wad, you don't know what it's done to the powder charge, if it's compressed it excessively. These I pull back, cut open for components down the road. Next up, we have the other end of the spectrum. If you have too short a shot column or too little shot for the wad you're using, like if you put an ounce of shot and an 1 1/4 shot wad, the mouth of the case will crimp excessively inside like this, and you'll get dribbles of shot coming out. This is actually pretty easy to fix. Just use an overshot card like this. You can buy them by the thousand. I know I usually buy mine from Ballistic Products. Either that or Precision Reloading out of Mitchell. These save a lot of headaches when you're loading, especially fine shot like 8 or 9. If you're loading some dust shot rounds, always use these. They're a good, cheap addition to a shell that solves a lot of problems for you. To use these, you just use a wad that uses 1/8 step larger shot charge. Like if you're using a wad for an ounce, step up to an ounce and an 1/8 wad, put an overshot card on it, you're good to roll. That is basically it for shotgun crimps. There's not a lot to them, but you can have issues. So once again, thanks for the views. Appreciate it. We will see you down the road.